Hello, everyone, and good evening to you. This is Yakinea Marie, the wealth strategist, the CEOs and entrepreneurs, and the founder and CEO of the I Am Woman Network. Welcome to the Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship Virtual Experience. We meet every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time just to have a conversation with some women entrepreneurs who are doing big things in the marketplace. And so here's the beautiful thing. It's not just about making money, but it's about life as well. It's about your spiritual aspect, your health, your mental state as well. And so tonight I have a phenomenal and special guest that's going to join us. And it's a lot going on. So just bear with us here. But I'm excited that you decided to join us live on air at the Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. So let me just kind of give you some housekeeping. We have a group on Facebook called Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship. If you're not connected to the group, I encourage you and invite you to join us now, because what we do is we conversate throughout the group while we're on the virtual experience. And if you have any questions, you're able to ask your questions. If you have anything that you would like us to celebrate you with, like a win or a challenge, you can post that in the group and we will address that, because I have my cell phone right here and I'm going to be checking the group constantly so we can make sure that we serve you on tonight. So with that, I want to introduce to you guys, I call her the phenomenal, fabulous fashionista, because the girl can just knock down dress to the T. And she's affectionately known as the career coach of Tate and Associates. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to you on tonight. Good evening, Melva Tate. How are you, madam?
Good evening, good evening. I am great. Another good weekend of football. So a couple of my teams won, a few of them lost, roll tide, but I'm still good.
Well, I tell you what, can you do me a favor? Can you introduce yourself to our listening audience?
Absolutely, absolutely. As Yakinea mentioned, I am Melva Tate. I'm the owner of Tate and Associates. We are a leadership consulting firm, and we specialize in the areas of human resource management and career development. So we strategize, we coach, and we speak to serve the community. So we strategize with the organizations on their human capital needs. So what does that look like? That looks like hiring people, policy administration, compliance based on what the government says they have to do, training and development. And so some of those clients will look like major nonprofits. We do a lot in the defense industry, the construction industry, colleges and universities, retail industries, because I do love to shop. But anywhere where they have employees and they have needs, we can help serve those needs. And then we also coach. So we coach mid-level professionals and executives in their career. We do leadership coaching and some assessments so that you know what your strengths and weaknesses are in managing people. And then we also have a signature program called the E to E Bridge, where we coach employees who are parallelpreneurs over to entrepreneurship. And then the last leg of that arm is we speak. So I've had the honor of speaking all across the U.S., speaking at conferences and in professional organizations on issues related to career development, organizational management, leadership, nonprofit governance, and my specialty is diversity and inclusion. So I am a best-selling author, thanks to Yakinea and the I Am Woman Network, so I can't wait to get that out. And I'm also a radio co-host, so that's another platform that I get to speak. I'm a co-host on a Saturday evening radio show, The Joe Lockett Show, and we're syndicated throughout the U.S. So those are the three arms of Tate and Associates. So they each have a signature name. So the strategy part of it and the consulting part of it is strategic HR partnership. The career touchdown, that's why I've got the field behind me. I was recording some videos earlier. Career Touchdown is our new brand for our career development arm, and then Melva Tate Speaks is the speaking arm. So thank you, Yakinea, for allowing me to come and share that platform with you.
Well, Melva Tate, girl, I tell you, you got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's why they call you the superstar. Well, you know what? I know we had the opportunity, and Melva Tate, she mentioned the IO Woman Network. Last week we featured Cherie Parker, one of our members in the Pennsylvania market, because we're opening up a Biz Live event in that market and in 3 additional markets in addition to Birmingham, Alabama. But Melva Tate is also one of our women entrepreneurs within the IO Woman Network, and we love platforming our women entrepreneurs. And so about a couple of Tuesdays ago, we had the opportunity to celebrate Melva Tate for her 717. And so she celebrated 17 years in business and 7 years in business full time. So Melva Tate, I want you, and I know we talked about this, but what led to you staying the course when the cards were stacked against you? Because I know every day wasn't all shiny and all pretty. But for our entrepreneurs out there who, you know, maybe they are experiencing some adversity, lack of support, negativity, whatever the case may be, why is it important to stay the course and speak on the power of determination and being consistent and just being focused?
Absolutely. So first of all, I never really considered the cards being stacked against me. However, I realized when I started my business, there were going to be a few roadblocks, there were going to be some obstacles, and inevitably there were going to be some setbacks. So I had to, when I started my business, although I furthered my business journey during the worst time there was, when the economy had tanked and we had not seen a recession like we had experienced in decades. You're right, I had to stay the course, and there were 3 things that kept me determined and focused during those difficult times. So number 1 was I knew my purpose. So without a shadow of a doubt, I knew that I was purposed to be a business owner and purposed to serve the community in the way that I do. So I had to readjust and reconsider a number of things, even my ideal client, when things got rough, and especially when that bank account started looking real pitiful. So I went from 6 figures in that account to 5 figures in that account to 4 figures in that account. And I really had to step back and pray real hard about whether I was truly in my purpose, and I got that answer clearly from God. So I never doubted what I was doing. The other thing is, it was a passion of mine. I'm going to do this to the day that I die, and I am passionate about it and would do it for free if my family would let me. If I got $10 million in the mail on tomorrow, I probably would still serve in this capacity. Maybe not quite as much, but I would still serve in this capacity because I'm passionate to do it. So look, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm passionate about it. The reason why I don't cook and I wouldn't open a bakery or a restaurant is because I'm not passionate about cooking. I try to find somebody else to do that for me. Tate & Associates is not a vehicle service like Uber. Why? Because I hate to drive. So I am doing something that I'm passionate about. So I had to make sure I was serving in my purpose. I had to make sure I was passionate. And really the last thing was I had to make sure I stuck to my plan. I had to have a plan when I stepped out on this journey, and I knew it would be difficult, but I also had to stick to that plan. And I didn't stick to it to the T. I knew that my plan had to be fluid enough to change when I realized that my ideal client was not there. Mm-hmm. So I'm delighted to have in my circle, you know, people like you, Nia, who help women find clarity in what they're supposed to be doing, you know, or people like Ebony, Ebony L, who help people identify multiple products and avenues to make a profit in the things that they love to do and they are passionate to do. And then, I'm standing there ready to help them after they've served and started their business for a couple of years, and they're ready to make that transition from being a parallelpreneur over into a full-time entrepreneur. So those three things, really being confident in my purpose, being driven by my passion, and then having a fluid plan helped me stay the course, be determined through all of the trials and tribulations that came with starting a business and growing a business.
Well, Melva Tate, I'll tell you this. I love the fact that you said being confident, being driven, and having a plan. And I love the fact about you operating in your lane of genius and not just doing something just to do it, not just doing something just to make money, but you're actually operating. See, I don't consider it work. You understand? What I do, I don't consider it work because I know that I am in my lane just like you mentioned. And so I know that this is the Women, Wealth, and Entrepreneurship Virtual Experience, and one of my platforms is wealth. And so a lot of times people limit wealth to money, although it includes money, it's not limited to money. So I often ask individuals, what does wealth mean to you? And I know each person have their own individual definition of wealth. So I want you to just share with the listening audience, what does wealth mean to you?
Well, first of all, I knew that you were going to be asking that question. I knew that was going to be one of the questions you were going to ask, because that is your platform and helping us have a better understanding of wealth. So I determine, or my definition of wealth is really a combination of three things. It's knowledge, it's resources, and it's relationships. So it's not about money, and it took me years to understand that. So what I mean by this, when we equate or when we talk about wealth, we generally think about material things. So I'm going to be a little transparent now. This is not a brag moment, because I've learned from this and learned a lot of things from it, but I just want to share with you. I live in a house now that I built 10 years ago. This month is 10 years. So Ebony was talking about her battery going out. All the light bulbs have gone out in my house at the same time, because I guess they were all 10-year bulbs. But anyway, I built this house 10 years ago, me and my soon-to-be ex-husband. Now, the house has just about every room you can think of: an exercise room, game room, home office, a movie room that nobody's watched a movie in years, 5 bathrooms. I mean, it's all of that stuff. And then when you think about, again, the material things that people equate to wealth, I have 3 cars. I have a Mercedes SUV. I have a Mercedes drop-top convertible. I have a BMW. Those are my cars that I drive. I've got a closet full of designer handbags and clothes. So what I'm saying to you is those are all material things. I can't drive but 1 car at a time. I can't use but 1 bathroom at a time. I can't carry but 1 designer purse at a time. And those things are temporary things that bring temporary fulfillment. So, and we get caught up in thinking when we see someone doing well that it's based on material things and they've got a lot of wealth. And that's really not what it's about. So I say that wealth is, again, about the knowledge that you have. That knowledge thing can't be taken away. I think it's about the resources that you have and the resourcefulness that you have to find out those things that you don't know. And then I think the relationships is the key. It's a combination of knowledge and resources if you're aligned with the right people, like yourself. As long as I got a friend in Yakinea, I'm always wealthy, because she's got knowledge and she's got resources that she's going to share with me, and I can always make money. So it's all about how we use those things and get beyond the material things and think about wealth. I also think about it as leaving a legacy. So I established my company and those 3 arms to be able to break off. I want somebody one day to approach me and want to buy my book of business, and I can eventually turn that money over to my granddaughter or my daughter to say, here, go start your business. It may not be the same thing that I'm doing, but at least that's some wealth in financial wealth that I can pass on, name, recognition, all of that, but certainly the knowledge and the resources and the relationships, hands down.
Well, that's good stuff, Melva. I tell you that's huge. I love how you define that as knowledge, resources, and relationships. That's absolutely huge, because I think people miss it, because you can have a lot of money and still be, poor in your relationships, lacking wisdom, lacking resources. So you're still broke, right? And so the goal is to be able to live a fruitful life in all areas of your life. That's spiritual, social, physical, financial, and emotionally as well. And so, listen, I want to say this, because I've been looking at our group page, Women Wealth. If you're not connected with us at Women Wealth and Entrepreneurship on the Facebook, I encourage you to get connected. If you have any questions, if you have any wins or any challenges that you want to share, do that. I see you, Linda. Linda, I see you. You asked a question. You basically made the statement. You said, I want to start a catering business and write a recipe book. And I tell you, you are in the right place, because we can show you how you can actually do that. And I love being connected to these women. And I see Ebony L. She asked you, how can we serve you? Because that is our goal, to serve you at the level that you want to be served. And if you're not connected to the I Am Woman Network via its email, I encourage you to get connected. and then you can stay tuned with some of the stuff that we got going on. And you can go to IamWomanNetwork.com and connect with us, and you'll get my free mini ebook, Expand Your Mind, Expand Your Money as well, and we'll show you how to get connected as well. But if you have any more questions, if you have any challenges, or want to share some wins that we can celebrate you with, please do that. So Melva, thank you for that. That was great, great, great information. Now I believe this is absolutely huge. Okay, we as entrepreneurs, whether you're male or female, once we set our goal or our mind toward accomplishing something, I'm talking about, we will grind day in and day out until we accomplish that goal. But the error that comes with that is we never take our time for ourselves. All right, I call this adding yourself to the calendar, adding yourself to the agenda. You work hard, you should play hard as well. You should take some time out for yourself just to relax, relate. And I'm telling you, it is so therapeutic for your brain to be able to just slow down. You'll be amazed at all the creative ideas that will come to you when you just shut yourself down for a moment just to breathe and just to rest, okay? You're not missing anything. You know, if you think you have to work 24 hours a day, every day a week to accomplish your goal, I'm telling you, you're listening to the wrong person. All right, so Melva, talk to me about that. I know sometimes we have to go to bed late, we have to get up early, right? But that should not be 365 days out of the year. So talk to me about the power of adding yourself to the calendar.
All right, so you know this continues to be a struggle for me. If there's anything that I struggle with in business, it's finding enough time for me. It's the most important thing. And I have to really stop and think about it, because there is no business without me. If I am not healthy and of sound mind, I cannot serve those who I've been ordained to serve. So a couple of things that come to mind, and you know, you and I have talked about it, and Ebony L kind of beat up on it because we were when we did the mastermind mini series, and you know, all of my challenges were around time. I just don't have time to do it. Why? And you asked me why hadn't you done? I just hadn't had time to do it. So I have realized that, one, our bodies are on a cycle. So I realized that my peak times or my mastermind times are early in the morning. I do well. I can get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm highly productive from about 4:30 until about 11 or 12:30. Highly productive. But I know my challenge is that I also need to exercise, because we talked about that health thing. So I need to find a way to exercise. So when you talk about putting calendar time or time for yourself on that, I've had to literally put on my calendar, it's time to pray and meditate. It is time to exercise, because I know I will get up in the morning, I will say a prayer, thank you, Lord. It may be a shorter prayer, because I'm always going to say thank you, Lord, when my feet hit the floor, but then I will immediately start working. And so I get caught up, and you're right, we can get so burned out with work. But some of the other things that we need to do is we need to be able to sacrifice those pleasurable things to find time. So it may not be in your peak time, but it may be when you get home, you still have enough energy to write a chapter in that book, or write out a business plan, or solicit a speaking opportunity, but you would rather watch Scandal, which starts this week, and get caught up in another series, or watch Netflix, or go on Facebook and you're not marketing yourself, you're using idle time, or picking up the phone and chatting with your girlfriend, or going to hang out. So you know, if you've got those goals and objectives and everything should be surrounded by a plan, then you're going to have to sacrifice some of those things that you really find enjoyment from. Not give them up totally, but find enjoyment from. The other thing that has helped me is, and I may be in a better position than some other people, but I've hired a team around me. I mentioned before we started the call that Sandra had just left. Sandra Scott, who's a part of the I Am Woman Network, who has helped me on a 30-day journey lose 13 pounds to date by helping cook some healthy meals and preparing them for me. I talked to another member of the I Am Woman Network, and I'm going to use everybody that I can, about coming over and helping me clean, because I know I can spend that time better serving my clients and customers and make twice the amount of money that I would use to pay them. So having people in your circle who can support you. And last but not least, Yakinea, your part that you played, has been being my accountability coach. I think the first conversations that we had about some of the goals and objectives that I had was I need somebody to help hold me accountable. And so you're constantly reminding me about those things that I've shared with you that I want to do for my business and my growth, and how am I getting there. And so I appreciate everybody, whether they are providing a service to me or advice or holding me accountable for those things that I said I would do to get that quality time. But time with family, the downtime away from everything is vitally important, because you are the business, and you can't be productive and your business can grow unless you're in sound body and mind.
That's good stuff. I like that, Melva. And ladies, Melva has literally given all you guys a shout out, so y'all make sure y'all send her a text, because I'm telling you, she done shouted all you guys out in the I Am Woman Network. Thank you for that love, Melva. I love this group of ladies, and that's what it's all about. It's not just about growing your brand, but it's about you supporting your sister as well, and Melva does a great job at doing that, so thank you, Melva. And so I have one more question for you, and I know the I Am Woman Network, we have a global vision. It is our goal to not only grow and expand nationally, but to expand internationally as well. And for those who don't know who the I Am Woman Network is, we are a business development and training company and promotions company, and we are focused on promoting and platforming the products and services of women entrepreneurs, and so around the country. And so our goal is to, I had a little hiccup here, I'm trying to see what just happened. Okay. And our goal is to be able to give women the platform they need in order to expand their vision and their voice through the I Am Woman Network and all the things that we offer here as strategists, coaches with the network. So Melva, tell me, what is the benefit? Because a lot of times as business owners, we limit ourselves to our local market, okay? Making money in your backyard is great, but I'm telling you, when you're making money from someone that lives 2,000 miles from you or someone that lives in another country, that feels wonderful. So what are some of the benefits, or what are the benefits of having that global mindset or that national mindset to be able to expand outside of your backyard?
Right. So I realized that God ordained me for the service that I provide to do more than just serve people who, like you just said, who are in my backyard, or who are in driving distance, or who are in that small circle of support that I know that I can meet and physically touch. So we need to stop thinking about our services being restricted by land and by water. So my platforms, whether that's speaking, whether that's coaching, whether that's consulting, has allowed me to share my talents across the U.S. So I've had consulting clients in Michigan and in South Carolina. I have career coaching clients right now that are in Texas and Illinois that I can coach remotely or virtually. I've done workshops and provided keynote speeches to conferences and professional organizations in Orlando and Vegas and San Diego, and even through the radio show. That has given me some international recognition, because we have listeners that are in Japan and in Puerto Rico who tune in and listen to our radio show. So being partnered with people like you, Yakinea, and other coaches with I Am Woman Network, and in particular those that you have brought through a series of events that you've done over the past year or two, for people like an Allison Bird or an April, who can talk and make us as business owners think more globally about what we're doing. You're always talking about globally. I rarely hear you say the word local. Serve your local customer. You talk about global and global wealth and global domination. So I appreciate you for sharing others with us who have that same vision to get us to think outside of our comfort zone, which is local, what we can touch, to see ourselves as a bigger brand and able to serve people. So that's really, when I talk about that time management piece, that's one of the things that's on the horizon for me, and I know that you're going to help me with, and I'm looking forward to the retreat next month, or I call it a retreat, you call it a boot camp, because it's going to get down and dirty. But I am really looking forward, but the place is so nice, you got to call it a retreat. But it's just, I'm looking forward, because I know that the information that I will get there from those talented individuals is really going to help propel me for growth in the next phases of my business. So I really appreciate that. And so next year when we do an interview, I won't only talk about me having international exposure through the radio show, but I'll talk about the international exposure that I have from being able to go and speak in Vegas and in Jamaica and in London and all of these other great places, or having clients there. So, but I really want to give you another shout out to say thank you for bringing people and always reminding us to think globally about what we do.
Oh, well, thank you, Melva. Thank you so very much for just allowing us to learn from you on tonight. Thank you for being a part of the iWoman Network. You know, I think that you are absolutely phenomenal, probably one of the most experienced business entrepreneurs that we have within the network. So I thank you for all that you bring to serve our women and to help, especially our newbies, have an example of a successful CEO in their business. And Melva Tate alluded to our mastermind retreat. We're hosting a phenomenal mastermind retreat for an intimate group of women entrepreneurs in Atlanta, Georgia, October the 16th through the 18th. So if you are that individual, this is not a conference, it's not a workshop. So it's about masterminding. This will be a intensive session. So don't come trying to play, because we're not playing here. A young girl asked me today, Melva, she was like, so what should we wear? Should we wear jeans? I said, yes, you can wear jeans the whole time. Don't wear no suits. You don't need no business attire. You don't even really need heels. Now, if you want to wear heels, wear heels. But you can wear tennis shoes the whole time. And so, because it's our goal to really get in the grind there at the mastermind retreat, okay? And so I'm excited about it, guys. If you want to know how you can join us, you can go to IamWomanMastermind.com. That's IamWomanMastermind.com. And the last thing that I want to talk about, I have not released it. All this will be releasing on tomorrow. But in 2 weeks, we will be having a lunch party. Okay, we're having a lunch party for the I Am Woman 2.0. That is the next phase of the I Am Woman Network, and so we're excited about it. So this will allow more women to play with us and join us and connect with us on a national and an international level, and it comes with a higher level of coaching. So just stay tuned for that. I'm not going to give you the website to it. It'll be up on tomorrow. But and I don't know if I shared this with you, Melva, but we're going to have 50 people with us, because all we can get in here is 50. So we're going to limit it to 50. So the first 50 people that register to attend the lunch party, the I Am Woman Network 2.0 lunch party here in Birmingham, Alabama on October the 4th, will be able to be live with us. But we are going to give women the opportunity to connect with us before the lunch party, and you'll get all that juicy information on tomorrow. So, Melva, if you would, please tell the listening audience how they can connect with you and stay in touch with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I shared with you about my business, and I will tell you this. So we all know what our gifts are. My gift is the gift of connection. I love to connect individuals with others who can help them on their journey, whatever that journey may be. So I want you to connect with me. You can connect with me on social media. That's either Melva Tate on Facebook or Melva the Career Coach on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You can go to Career Touchdown group or Twitter page. But I would love to connect with you and leverage my network to help you get to your dreams and what you're trying to accomplish. And you can always email me, melva@melvatate.com. Again, I'd love to be able to talk with you and share my resources with you.
What is your website?
My website is www.tateassociatesllc.com, or the cheap one, you can just easily just put in melvatate.com. It'll take you straight there. So if you just remember the name, Melva Tate, you got the rest of the information you need.
Well, thank you, Melva Tate, the career coach, the superstar herself, for sharing your time with us tonight, guys. Thank you. Let me see if we have any other questions in the group before I leave so we can address the question. Because we definitely want to serve you. Let me see. Thank you, Ebony L, for holding it down in the group. Really appreciate you, lady. Hey, guys, listen, I appreciate you. I thank you for watching. I look forward to all the women entrepreneurs that's going to connect with us, not only locally, but throughout the country and throughout the world. I'm excited about the movement that we're on. And I'm excited to be just connected to wonderful women. I mean, Melva, I just love connecting to wonderful women. And I know you do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So with that, guys, have a wonderful evening. Again, thank you, Melva Tate, for sharing your time and wisdom with us.
All right. Good night, all.